In recent years, Test series between England and Pakistan have attracted their fair share of controversy. Allegations of indifferent umpiring have come from both sides.
Oh, steady on.
Accusations of ball tampering still rumble on. They've had some of the game's greatest players appearing in the courts. They've also interfered with the England captain's preparations along the way. The last time Pakistan toured England, they won thanks to some brilliant swing bowling from Waqar Younis and Wasim Akram. And in the second test at Lord's, it was Wasim who struck the winning blow to give the tourists a great victory. This summer, Wasim is captain, and the series is likely to be just as eventful as in previous years. Well, welcome to the opening Test match, the first day highlights, and this is a three-match series between England and Pakistan, sponsored by Cornhill. It'll be played between two very good sides, and it could be eventful, as we've already highlighted. We're going to take it down now to something a little more mundane. It's the toss with the two skippers and Tony Lewis.
Wasim, good morning. Can we just have a word? Your confirmation you've won the toss?
Yes.
What are you doing?
We are batting because wicket looks quite okay. So we want to put some runs on and put some pressure on England.
Tell us about the makeup of your side. First of all, is Waqar fully fit?
Yeah, Waqar is 100% fit, and we are playing Shadab Kabir, young left-hander. He has been doing well on tour, so we just that's his debut in this Test match. So we'll wish him all the luck.
And what about the element of spin?
Spin, only Mushtaq Ahmed is playing. I think this wicket going to probably get a little bit uneven by the fourth inning.
Reading the morning papers, everyone suggests that you're coming out with a blaze of shots and very little common sense. Is that going to be true?
I don't think so. We got a lot of common sense behind us, and we're going to try to pile some run against England, and let's see how it goes.
And do you feel a certain excitement at the beginning of a new series?
Absolutely. It's always fun playing at Lord's, and everybody excited and looking forward for the Test match.
And is this where your friendship with Michael Atherton ends for a short time?
Yeah, for 5 days, yes. On the field, yeah. But off the field, we're still very good friends.
Good.
We will be. Thank you.
Mike, good morning to you.
Hi.
Now, the toss, where are you?
I would have preferred to have won the toss and batted because it looks a very good pitch here, but there's nothing you can do about that. Try and bowl Pakistan out today and get 2 days batting on it for the next two.
And tell me about your side. You've got a Test debutant, Simon Brown.
Yeah, he's banging form. He's got 56 wickets for Durham. He's the leading wicket taker in the country, so it's the perfect time for him to play, and we wish him well. Left arm seamers are always thought of as the variation, but we seem to have got one or two of them. Yeah, we've got two in the side, and there's a few around in England at the moment, so it's good to see two of them playing together. I'm sure they'll both do well. Yeah, and Salisbury, leg spin comes to Lord's. Yeah, this is where he made his debut against Pakistan some years ago, and he had a good debut then. Hopefully he can have a good game as well. There's a bit of a history here, isn't there, of leg spinners doing quite well? Yeah, the wicket can turn towards the end of the game. Hopefully if the wicket hardens up, there'll be a bit of bounce there for him as well. Yeah, is the slope anything to do with it at all? I think he'll want to bowl at the nursery end with the slope taken away for his leg spin. Yeah, hopefully he does well. You have been unlucky, of course, with the two injuries. Yeah, it's unfortunate for Nasser Hussain and Chris Lewis because both have had good summers so far for England, but it gives an opportunity to two other players, and hopefully it'll bring out the best in the other guys as well. Yeah, and I'm sure you have every respect for the Pakistan side and its captain. Very much so. We're good friends and played against Pakistan before, and they're all good cricketers, and we're looking forward to a really positive and cracking series. Good. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Well, they're the two teams nominated by the skippers at the toss with Tony Lewis. And England, Michael Atherton, then Knight, Stewart, Thorpe, Hick, Elam, Russell, Cork, Salisbury, Mullally and Brown. Now, Salisbury has played Test cricket before. He's had 8 matches. But this is a debut game for Simon Brown of Durham, who's left-arm pace bowler and has had a very, very good season so far. England have problems there with injuries to Nasser Hussain and Chris Lewis. They're out of the original squad. Now, Pakistan, Amir Sahil and Saeed Anwar, the two left-hand opening batsmen, they could pose a problem for the opening bowlers of the England side. Ijaz Ahmed, who hit 100 in the recent series against Australia, then Inzamam ul-Haq, a very talented player. Big fellow, a lovely timer of the ball. Salim Malik, Shadab Kabir, who's making his debut in Test matches, Wasim Akram, Rashid Latif, Mushtaq Ahmed, Waqar Younis and Atar Rahman. So that's a good strong side for Pakistan there, and as usual the pitch will play a part, particularly on the first morning. Here's Geoffrey Boycott now with his report.
First morning of this Test match and a wonderful day for cricket. All this good sunny weather has helped the groundsman prepare a beauty. I think he's very pleased with this, one of the best looking pitches we've had at Lord's for some time. Many a time we've come here over the last few years, these cracks have been really wide and open. Now you can see they're just showing. It is a tired square, we all know that. They're going to dig different pitches up as we go along each year. But all in all, I would say this is a pitch that you definitely want to win the toss on, you definitely want to bat, and you would hope to bat a long time and bat well on it.
Well, from Jeffrey's report, it sounds a very good toss to win. Just to confirm that Pakistan won it, and they are batting. The third umpire will be John Holder, and standing in the match are Steve Buckner and Peter Willey, the match referee Peter van der Merwe. We go and join play now with the first ball of the third over. Dominic Cork is the bowler, Saeed Anwar is taking strike, and there's one run on the board. It's a leg bye.
That's what they're good at. Saeed Anwar, just a flick of the bat outside off stump. Oh, that must be close. No shot played, and that's out. Simon Brown gets his first wicket in Test cricket with his 10th ball in Test cricket. And it's a big prize too. Ahmed Sohail is the man who's gone for 2. Pakistan 7 for 1.
Well, I thought it was an excellent decision this. Padding up, no shot played, ball coming back up the slope, and that's plumb. Doesn't matter where he finishes there, he finishes a long way shuffled outside off stump. It's where it hits him. And that's a good decision, Steve Buckner. Excellent blow by England. Can't have any complaints about that decision when he sees it on replay in the dressing room. Watch where it hits him, not where he moves to after it hits him. It's when the ball hits him.
So, to the crease comes the familiar figure of Ijaz Ahmed.
Sharp. No, it's... as I say, when you've got a 7 and 2 field, you've only got 2 fielders on the onside, you can't afford anything on the batsman's legs.
Oh, over they go. Clatter of stumps. Shatters the rather tense start to the day, and Ijaz Ahmed's gone. We said that the ball kept up to the bat might well be the one, and Ijaz facing Cork, it's right across, and then suddenly it's stuck in such an incredible position. Almost went for a stroll outside off stump. No way he could get the bat round in the front pad. He got stuck. Bull Cork won, 12 for 2.
Well, I can't say anything, but it's horrible. Awful is that. I mean, look where he's put his foot, miles outside the ball. He wants a pair of binoculars or some new glasses, I think.
You mean to say that's not in the Geoffrey Boycott book of coaching?
I don't think it'll be in his coaching book when he sees that on television in the dressing room. He'll have nightmares about that for a week.
That's Inzamam ul Haq. Well, that's a bright start for England, and there'll be a little bit of panic in the Pakistan dressing room now. But that's typical of Inzamam. Just a defensive push, but timed so beautifully. He's off the mark with 2. Fine shot. Good, crisp punch for the onside. 4 runs. Another fine shot. Again, Simon Brown drifting down leg side. Just 2 fielders on the onside. And Saeed Anwar helping himself.
Yes, they are gift balls onto the batsman's legs, but they are played quite magnificently, aren't they? I mean, the timing and the foot movement, lovely little turn of the wrist at the perfect moment. And the ball just disappears very quickly off the bat. Nicely played.
Nice firm stroke. Good ground made to that ball. Cork is the man doing the fielding. He gets it before the rope, flicks it back, and looked to be perfectly legitimate and extremely athletic. That's typical Inzamam stroke. Plays the cover drive and the stroke through extra cover with great ease and generally perfect timing. Caused a bit of consternation down the other end. When Inzamam was hit, he scuttled out of the road very quickly. It's pitched outside the line of leg stump and then just kept on going. It's a lovely shot for 4. Fast player, Inzamam.
He's one of these players who just seems to accumulate runs quickly. That boundary takes him on to 14.
Two beautiful strokes this over, quite contrasting. One off the pads past square, and that's a lovely forcing stroke. Beautifully bowled slow ball.
Right line, right length from Dominic Cork. Just a defensive shot. If anything, Inzamam was trying to angle the bat to get the ball down towards third man.
Just carried or just didn't?
Travelled very quickly, and I think it just might have reached him, but it was at shoe height.
And there's that hook or pull shot I was talking about. He plays it very well. I've seen him give bowlers around Australia a bit of a caning with that particular shot.
Up for Pakistan, and we're in the 17th over of the day.
Oh, that's a wonderful shot. I mentioned before that this pitch has no pace and it's no bounce and it's going to get lower as we go on. And once Alan Mullally banged this in, it just sat up like a medium pacer.
Catch it! And that was definitely edge. That's what the man is there for. It's this wristy approach of Saeed Anwar as he tries to work it through the leg side. Nothing wrong with that. Good use of the feet by Inzamam ul Haq, and just a lovely straight drive. He's a powerful player. Made good ground to this, got into the perfect position and just hammered it through.
Shot. Bad ball, but could have done all sorts of things with that, one of which might have been try to hit it too hard and sacrifice the boundary. But in fact, he played it beautifully. Just a little flick away there through mid-wicket.
There's a wonderful temperament and talent as Inzamam. His biggest weakness as a batsman is probably his running between the wickets.
Well bowled.
Yes, it was well bowled. One of those balls that just angled back a little bit into Inzamam from wide of the crease, a little inside edge, and a slice of luck for the batsman. There's the bouncer, and that could just cause his downfall. Oh, he's lucky to get away with that. And that's the thing that Mark Elam can do. He just catches batsmen out by the fact that they see him running at a little medium pace. They think he's fairly innocuous, but he was really lucky to get away with that.
And that's where the man isn't. Extra cover. Made that beautifully. Dominic Cork bowled earlier from the nursery end. Now it's been switched to the pavilion end. No ball call, and it'll go for 4. One of the things we can appreciate this morning is 100 up for Pakistan has come in quick time. Some nice strokes, some delicate strokes, and 1 or 2 balls have been hit very hard. We're only in the 30th over. .50 for Saeed Anwar. Good knock. Played very well. Once or twice full stroke, but very good innings. First morning of the test at Lord's, and he's halfway towards 100. Well, there's 4 more to add to it. Cork was attacking there. He was trying to get the Yorker through. It was a lovely shot. Another no ball, 2 in this over. The throw once again goes to the end towards which Inzamam is running. That'll be a calculated move from the England fielders. They know that Inzamam doesn't run quite as fast as some of the others, but that doesn't stop him being quite a good judge of a run. Score goes along to 112 now. It's a 100 partnership for Pakistan between Saeed Anwar and Inzamam ul Haq, and they've played really well. That's a most entertaining morning's cricket. 112 for 2, Amir Sohail out for 2, and Ijaz Ahmed for 1.
Mark Elam to bowl round the wicket from the nursery end. That's a good start for Anwar. First ball after lunch, 2 full, and just cracked away. No doubts about that one. Oh, fine shot. Even despite the ring of cover fielders, no one anywhere near that. Confidently thumped away through the offside, and it takes Inzamam to 50. Takes him past 50, 52 not out, and this has been a very confident innings. Same again. Well, the message is pretty clear to Simon Brown. If you offer anything just outside off stump of a full length, that's the treatment it's going to get. Oh, that's found the gap. So after a couple of attempts to find the holes in this field, Saeed Anwar succeeds.
Just drifting down leg side, I'd reckon. Might even have got a touch on it. Very faint edge. Could have been the reason for the choked appeal.
You can see what Mark Elam is trying.
Got him. No need for Steve Buckler to do anything there, although he did respond to the appeal in the end. Don't think that'll be one of the happiest moments of Saeed Anwar's life because it was short, but I do have a feeling that it skidded through. There was Graham Hicks top spinner, in which case full credit to the bowler.
He's picked up the important wicket of Saeed Anwar. For 74 very good runs, he'll get a good hand from this Lord's crowd.
Did the 42 for 3.
And the departure of Saeed Anwar brings in Pakistan's most experienced player, Salim Malik.
Oh, good try. Beautifully bowled. And such a good effort.
The bowler bowled a wonderful slower ball that deceived Malik. And Michael Atherton got himself as a fielder in a pretty good position for that lofted push drive.
That's money for old rope. Short, dragged it down into the pitch. Maybe another attempt at the top spinner. Oh, trouble here, he's gone. Got to be gone. Great fielding. Salisbury has chased after that, never given up for a moment, and Inzamam has sent back Salim Malik. The throw was perfect to the right end, and it came in beautifully to Jack Russell. That is very good cricket.
Well, a very disappointed Salim Malik. Good track like this, you want to make your opportunities count on good pitches.
Now then, what will be of interest is just to see which of the two batsmen touched down first. There's Jack Russell taking the bails off. Now, touchdown. Well, I'm feeling that Salim Malik managed to make a desperate dive there at the end. 153 for 4 now. From England's point of view, that looks dramatically better.
Well, he's off the mark in Test cricket. Ripple of applause. Shadab Kabir is 1 not out, and he'll be very relieved about that. Born in November 1977, which makes him just 18 years old. Well, it was asking for it. It was a bit on the short side, but how well he played it. And he waited for it and placed it square on the offside.
Lovely footwork here from Shadab Kabir. He picks up the length quickly, goes right back and across on that back foot and spanks it through the covers.
Certainly got that one right. Right up in the slot for him. He's not a man who likes to run much, and he hardly moved after this. No problems there either. That's a fine shot. Shadab not quite timing it properly. Elam able to cut it off.
Change of ball. It brought one out after tee of roughly the same deterioration level. The bowler will work furiously on it. It's always the same scenario. There's this psychological hope for the bowler that suddenly this new old ball will start doing extraordinary things. Big shot, straight down the ground, just away to the right-hand side of Mullally. And once again, Inzamam was on the way down the track before the ball left, there he goes, before the ball left Hicks' bowling fingers.
Well, he does make up his mind that he's going to go if he gets the opportunity.
Catch! Mullally, he needs to be 12 feet tall, not 6. 100 up, nice way to do it. A century for Inzamam. What a beautiful stroke.
He hit this sweetly and a long way over the fielder's head. England haven't got the fielders right on the boundary. They've got them quite a way in for the mistimed hit.
Yes. Shadab Kabir dismissed. The change of ball has brought about a dismissal now, and 5 wickets have gone for Pakistan. Looks a good, well-organised young player, and I'd suggest we'll hear a lot more of him as the years go on.
Well, it was a well-pitched up delivery that just offered to swing back a little bit, and the umpire to decide whether it was going down leg side. It's a 50-50 one, is that? And I'm sure that this new old ball has done a little bit more, as Richie Benno pointed out.
Waqar Younis, the skipper, a left-hander and a very, very good player.
Well, Inzamam didn't time that very well, but he got it in the middle of the bat and just enough wood on it to get it through the gap, and that fairly fast outfield that goes downhill just takes the ball away from the fielders chasing.
Lovely shot, classic. Mark that one down as one of the real strokes of the day.
Yeah, the one thing about Inzamam, when he decides to be positive, he gets a nice big stride in to the pitch of the ball.
Well, there's something you can clap.
Beautiful stroke. Maybe a little bit of out curve on that ball from Dominic Cork, but beautifully timed and placed. Oh, that's a good shot. That brings the oohs and ahs out of a full house here. Inzamam ul Haq. Well, that was a dive at first slip. Second slip had just gone out to the boundary.
Well, this is what Michael Atherton will be asking himself. Why the heck didn't I keep a second slip in?
Well bowled and got him, yes. Peter Willey raises the finger. That was a beautifully bowled slow delivery from Mark Elam. Certainly good enough for Wasim Akram. LBW for 10. Peter Willey giving it as he saw it. And the view from the stump camera, I think, confirms that Wasim Akram has no need to be aggrieved by the decision. He might be aggrieved that he didn't spot the slower ball. That's another matter. But beautifully bowled. So 6 down now for 257. Spotted that one too very well. Onto it very quickly indeed. Elam trying to follow the slower ball with the bouncer. And it certainly wasn't quick enough for Inzamam. Pass bowling. Alan Mullally's first wicket of the day. Inzamam or Hack had been struggling to find these runs, his last 2 or 3 runs to get into 150. And the inside edge, a big inside edge, back onto the leg stump. Finally sees the end of him. But it's been a marvellous display. 148 runs off 218 deliveries. Mushtaq Ahmed is the new batsman.
And that's a good stroke, and that's going to run away down the slope. Won't quite gather pace, but it'll go well enough. Just a question of how Nick Knight is. Has he injured that finger? No, it's not finger, it's ankle. Nicely timed and very well placed. Alex Stewart, the man coming around. Jack Russell's got him. That's well bowled by Mullally. That's the classic left-armer's delivery, the one that leaves the right-hander. Now that is very good for England. They have had a good day after looking down the barrel earlier in proceedings. .280 for 8 now. Waqar Younis is the new batsman. Rashid Latif is there on 1. Oh, it's a flamboyant stroke, and it gets Waqar Younis off the mark. He's quite a hitter when he's going. Good stroke. That'll run away down the hill. Gone. Got him. That's well done by Alan Mullally. 9 down now. Away they'll go off the field. Waqar Younis, the man out for 4. Rashid Latif is left now with the last man, Atur Rahman, who will come in tomorrow morning. That's the way it happened.
Well, I don't think that ball was ever there for driving. It was a good length ball that Waqar was trying to force on the up. Alan Mullally won't mind. He's bowled quite well all day, but that's a little bit of a gift wicket. A simple catch, but you've got to pick the length of the ball to score off, and that really wasn't quite full enough. And he never really got his foot forward to the pitch of the ball. It's an excellent wicket for England. 290 for 9. I think they've had a pretty good day of England. Although Pakistan has scored nicely and batted well at times, I think of the two sides that go home tonight, that England will be the happier on this particular pitch.
That's a good performance from England there to take 9 wickets in the day on a pretty good track. 148 for Inzamam, a delightful innings, 74 for Saeed Anwar, and others in double figures, but 290 for 9. Well, both sides can be happy with that. And the bowling figures for England: Cork 2 for 75, Brown 1 for 69 on debut. He can be pleased with that in front of a 30,000 crowd. Salisbury none for 36, Elam 1 for 38, Hick 1 for 26, and Mullally, who I thought was the best of the day, 19.4 over 6 maidens and 3 for 40. And here now, with his summing up the day's play and what might happen tomorrow, is Geoffrey Boycott.
Well, we've had an absorbing and interesting day's cricket with plenty of runs and wickets for the spectators. But it was dominated by a century from Inzamam ul Haq and also by some good cricket from England. Inzamam, a tall, thick-set man, looks least like a batsman of anybody I've known. But his footwork is superb, his placement excellent, and he does hit the ball with some weighty power. A superb performance that kept Pakistan in the game, because all in all, they lost the initiative and the opportunity to bat first on this pitch with a low bounce and no pace. England did well. They'll go home tonight feeling much, much happier, and all they have to do is bat tomorrow much better than Pakistan did today.
Thanks, Geoffrey. Geoffrey Boycott with his ideas on what happened today and what might be happening tomorrow. A very good day's play, the opening day of this first Cornhill Test match of the series. We'll be back on BBC 2 tomorrow, 10:50 a.m. For the moment, it's goodbye.
Integrated the edges there, and the ball will die. I think we'll get more and more low balls as the match goes on, particularly if this hot weather stays in. There's another ball mark here, and as the ball from the faster bowlers keeps hitting these cracks, I think we'll get lower bounce. Certainly some will go through quick with the new ball, but then you'll get the lower bounce, occasionally a roller by about the 4th or 5th day, and it could be interesting if the bowlers bowl very straight. They could make batting just a little bit hard work.
Thanks, Geoffrey. Well, it sounds as though the pitch is in good shape again. That'll be fine so far as Pakistan and England are concerned. We're joining it now with the third ball of the third full over to be bowled. Cork is the bowler. Rashid Latif is taking strike, and 2 runs have been added to the overnight total.
That's a good shot. That's a good response, actually, to the field change. He deliberately dragged that from just outside off stump.
Yeah, he's a good player, this fellow. He's a legitimate batsman. He's not just a wicket-keeper who can make runs.
That's well bowled. At the end of the over there, Latif's tactics changing, understandably. He wants to try and keep as much of the strike as possible. Hence the attempt just to run the ball down to third man, opening the face. That's beautifully bowled. Just slightly slower. Nice little change of pace from Dominic Cork.
I'm assuming that has to be reverse swing because we're into the 95th over now.
Rashid Latif will to settle for the 1. That brings Pakistan to 300. 300 for 9. No, that's high, but straight down the ground. Just reaching the boundary at the nursery end. Well, interesting stuff from Ato Rahman. I think it's safe to say that he's not happy.
Do you think he was unhappy with that?
Well, Dominic Cork trying a little variety in the sense that he's tried to keep the ball pitched up to these two batsmen through most of the morning. That could be a painful blow just below the elbow. Just as well there was no short leg there. Well, I'm sure had he been there he'd have caught the bat and handed it back politely. That's 4 runs. A nice little bonus. Just wide. Wide of Nick Knight at short leg. England need fielders everywhere.
Not quite catchable. Difficult stumping chance, but I suspect when we have a look at the replay we might find it was one.
Well, the batsman certainly ended up out of his crease. Over the top, that's handsomely struck. That's good positive batting.
Slightly ambitious to have a man in at silly point for Rashid Latif. Ato Rahman, yes.
Catch it! Shouts of catch it. And that ball tantalisingly close to Graham Thorpe at silly point. And that's been the closest, certainly the closest to a chance this morning, just past the outstretched hand. Good shot on the up, and up to that cover boundary under the grandstand.
That's a fine stroke in keeping with what we were talking about earlier. This fellow's a good player.
And that's a slightly better shot too. This one over-pitched. The first one was on the up. This was more of a half volley. Well, England left the men back on the cover boundary, on the square leg boundary, and the single achieves 2 things. One, it gets Rashid Latif to keep the strike, and it also brings up the 50 partnership. Nicely bowled, that's it. Graham Hick takes the simplest of chances at slip. And the tactic has worked. Ian Salisbury takes the final wicket of this Pakistan innings after some stubborn and at times inspired resistance from Ato Rahman and Rashid Latif.
Well, this is close to the perfect leg break. It's pitched middle and leg stump, spun, found the outside edge, taken by Hick. Well, that's a terrific performance from Pakistan to add 50 with that last wicket stand this morning. Ato Rahman, an excellent effort from him, unbeaten on 10. Rashid Latif is a very talented cricketer and a fine batsman. We saw him at the Oval when he made his debut, and he's made 45 there today. 340, And Salisbury took the last wicket, caught it slip. It was a classic leg spinning delivery. And as you look at the bowling figures for England, you'll see that he had 1 for 42 from 12.2 overs and 1 maiden. He came on 75 minutes too late today. I'm a great admirer of Michael Atherton's captaincy and his general cricket, but I don't think that was a very good move to keep him away from the attack all that time. 2 wickets for Cork, 1 for Brown, 3 for Mullally, and 1 for Elam, and 1 for Hick. We join play now with the England innings. First ball, and Wasim as the bowler. Nick Knight is the man taking strike.
Straight away off the mark. Nice confident start. Waqar Younis, the man down at long leg. It's an edge and it's 4. Well, it's bounced well in front and wide enough. That's gone very fine. That's 4 runs to Michael Atherton. Well, the first ball he's faced. And Waqar Younis, who'd been bowling outside the off stump to the left-hander, in effect keeping the same line to the right-hander. A nice little present for the England captain. Well, the runs are flowing. 3 this time to Nick Knight. Great shot this time. Better timed. And the new ball making firm contact with the middle of the bat. This is a good reply by England. That's out. Wasim Akram has struck this time, and it's his Lancashire colleague, the England captain, who's the man out. To one that seemed to keep very low indeed. Again, it was a quick delivery, full in length. And I would suspect there's a certain amount of doubt in that one. Have a look at that LBW. Michael Atherton has moved across in front of off stump, and ideally that ball needed to come back in just that little bit more to the right-hander.
And that brings Alex Stewart out to the centre.
Well, that's the card. That's the evidence of the decision. LBW bowl Wasim for 12. Michael Atherton. Alex Stewart off the mark. And we'll get 4 runs for that.
And on the right of your picture, former BBC presenter and cricket aficionado Peter West, friend of his on his right-hand side. It's a very good bowling average for Wasim Akram. Anyone who gets down towards 20, an average per wicket is very good. Super shot. That was actually good cricket all round. Wasim Akram bowled a very good slower ball. Nick Knight picked it in the end and eased it away. Well, that's there'll be pleasure and disappointment with that. I suppose that's the way life is. Nick Knight didn't pick the wrong one, but still got it away for 4, and Mushtaq for one moment would have thought he had him.
And in the end, nicely placed.
So is that. Good stroke. Now, Nick Knight did well against Pakistan the other day. And it was Mushtaq who bowled out Warwickshire in the first innings. Then Nick Knight came out in the second and made runs. It's handy to have good form behind you. Michael Atherton on the left, David Lloyd on the right.
That's a very pleasant way to bring up the 50. 51 for 1 now, England.
And that, they told me, is the stroke he was employing against Mushtaq up at Edgbaston the other day. Sometimes called the hoik, and sometimes the batsman a lovely swing away to the onside.
Maybe a sweep. And he did well. He got it square. The man is out there at deep square leg, behind square though.
Might have been through a little quickly with the stroke there.
Well, this is what the Pakistanis have worked out. He finds it hard to resist, Alex Stewart, to play these shots. Well, there was a bit of bat in this, I think. Bat and pad very close together.
Knight will need to watch the in-swinging Yorker. That's the one. The shout came, but when he comes around the wicket to the left-handers, which is an unusual ploy, I've seen Wasim Akram several times aim the ball at outside off stump and then swing it back at the left-hander. Just like that. He goes for the Yorker. Misfield, should actually have got that. Did enough to get across to fielder, that's Salim Malik. Perhaps it spun away from him a fraction. Nice stroke. Nothing of a nick about that. A delightful leg glance.
Yeah, it just went very fine. That was ideal for Nick Knight.
That's beautifully played by Stewart. Complete placement and timing and footwork. Just touched it. Didn't have to hit it hard at all. Got it away for 2 through mid-wicket.
And it brings up the 50 partnership between Alex Stewart and Nick Knight in just 71 minutes.
Well, that deserved 4, I'm afraid. Mushtaq has, well, perhaps he was trying a flipper. Sometimes that ball can get away from you. Whatever it was unexpected for him as well. Super shot. There's always the chance there for the bowler and the captain who's set the field with man in close cover.
And it was as good a shot as we saw all day yesterday from Inzamam. Very, very similar in the way they both just punched it away through the offside.
Nicely played by Nick Knight. And Stewart will come back quickly for the 3rd. That's good cricket. It was just a gentle little turn way on the onside, running down to deep fine leg. It's well done and well run as well. We wouldn't quite call it a misfield. Quite just have brushed his fingertips.
I'd certainly call it a fine shot. Tossed up by Mushtaq. But a great example of how to play that. He hit it very powerfully.
Get 4 for that. Not off the middle of the bat.
I don't suppose Nick Knight's worried about that. A big full toss.
Get it The bowler is in no doubt. He's running down, pointing, waving, sticking his finger up as the umpire might do, but it got nowhere near the bat at all. For England. Knight is within 2 runs of his own half-century. Alex Stewart 38. Well bowled, beautifully bowled. Now that's to underline the brilliance of going around the wicket there. Wouldn't have been a catch because it's given us leg byes by umpire Willie. Nick Knight says he reckons he hit it. Looks as though it's just flipped the outside edge there. So definitely looked as though it was a chance, but it was given as leg byes by umpire Willie standing at the nursery end. Looked as though it might have been let off, but it in fact kept Knight away from his half-century. Same system of shouting, yelling. Alex Stewart didn't move a muscle. LBW.
Well, Pakistan needed that wicket desperately. Alex Stewart and Nick Knight have been playing very solidly. When it hits him, might just well have been going down. Might have been going down off stump. That there's a big slope at Lord from left to right. Graham Thorpe is the new batsman.
107 for 2, 39 for Stewart, unbeaten. Graham Thorpe joins him. Right-hand, left-hand combination now. He's bowled pretty well. 1 or 2 loose ones, but he's an enthusiastic bowler. Ultra enthusiastic with his appealing and pointing and shouting. But there you are. That's the way life is these days.
Oh, that's a good shout. That is out.
Umpire Willie is under plenty of pressure out there. And this time Mushtaq has a victim. Good change to the law as well.
Well, I think we just saw there the shake of the head from Alex Stewart, and he's looking up at the big screen just to see whether it really was out. And I think if you watch this carefully, no stroke is played, as Richie pointed out. Look, that's just pure padding up. You've got to give those out under the new rule.
Graham Hick comes out, just 10 minutes to go to tea. Tension around the ground now. That's why they brought the law in, for people who use their pads instead of their bats. Brought it in a bit late, that's the only problem. That was the wrong one. Certainly wasn't picked by Alex Stewart, otherwise he wouldn't just have pushed his pad at it. Mushtaq is right on top out there. Very enthusiastic spin bowler. Neither of the 2 batsmen yet off the mark. reckon that is probably an inside edge. Just need to wait and see what umpire Steve Buckner does. No, he's giving it leg by. Seemed to be intense disappointment there from Waqar Younis. Perhaps it was swinging too much.
Just going down, I think, that quite comfortably. Wonderful delivery, wasn't it? There's that famous swinging Yorker that he bowls at will. Usually bowls it dead straight.
Beautifully bowled.
Very good cricket here. Graham Hick was just going to leave this ball, and then at the last minute just saved his bacon. Got that bat down. He's going to leave it. He's going to leave it. It's a last minute get down and keep it out.
Come on, mate.
Now Hicks off the mark. Quite a variety of Panamas there. And bands as well. A few MCC jobs.
Bowled him. Perfect Yorker. That really is a Waqar special. Didn't seem much faster, but the length was absolutely crucial.
Well, we're seeing here some wonderful cricket. That Yorker that he's famous for was absolutely perfectly bowled. It didn't really swing, which he's noted for, but it was so accurate, so quick, right on the button. Straight in. Really didn't swing at all. And probably as well, because when he bowled one that swung just before tea, he hit Graham Hick on the pads and was going down.
Mark Elam is the incoming batsman. So a flurry of wickets now for Pakistan. 4 wickets down, 116. Most people on the ground, Nick Knight included, believed he'd scored 49. In fact, there was a later adjustment by the umpires to say that when they awarded 2 leg byes, in fact, he hit it with a bat. It was more than that. It was outside edge and a flying chance to first slip. So those who runs off the bat, 2 more runs to Nick Knight. He is out for 51.
And that's good for cricket, isn't it, Tony? For the umpires to confer at tea time and see the replay on television. The third umpire informed Peter Willey, and to change it and get it right. That must be good for cricket, definitely.
Oh, beautifully bowled. Very difficult to start an innings against a top-class spinner.
Well, it is. It's a tough moment here for Mark Elam. I think this is a contest within a contest for Waqar and Graham Thorpe. Both played at Surrey together. So I don't think there's much that Graham Thorpe doesn't know about the bowler.
Well, that round went to Mr. Thorpe.
That was lovely cricket. Waqar went wide of the crease for that one, just to try to use the crease, and he played a magnificent cover drive.
Oh, that's a big shout, and must be close. Prolonged appeal by the slips.
Well, he was going for the faster Yorker again. He got it right up there, and that was worth a shout. He never really got out of the blocks, did Mark Elam. I think he's a lucky lad.
And some welcome runs. Finally played. Three in this for England. That's a good shot, beautifully placed. was overpitched by Mushtaq Ahmed. But what I liked about that, Mark Elam went positively right out of the ball, went with it. Swung a good clean bat right through extra cover. Bad ball. Again, trying too hard, perhaps trying too many variations. Brilliant stop. Well, that's interesting. Someone indicating that the bails were off. And there goes the bail. And was it the keeper or was it the batsman? Might well have been the keeper's gloves. That's overpitched again. Again, Mushtaq pressing too hard, and now he's found Mark Elam in much better form. So it's 151 for 4 now.
Yeah, the ball bounced well in front of the lone man at slip.
Well, from all the actions out there, it looked as though that might have gone straight from bat to the bowler. Played that very well. Less pace there from Rahman. When Wasim Akram let go a bouncer at Thorpe, he finished up hooking it away behind square. That one, more a flat batted stroke, more or less with a straight bat.
The 50 partnership comes up with that shot. It's a good delivery.
Rahman has been swinging the ball. He managed to get it offline. It's been coming around the wicket. And quite an interesting character he is. Bowls is about medium pace. And there you are. You never know what you're likely to see in a big city. That's well caught. Very well caught. Elam goes. The appeals have gone, and there was no doubt at all the catch was taken according to Elam. Steve Buckner had a good long hard look at it. He doesn't need to do anything about it. And Mark Elam and Graham Thorpe have had their partnership broken. Elam out for 25.
Steve Buckner just cast a glance across at his colleague Peter Willey, just to make sure that they were both happy the ball had carried. 180 for 5 means that Pakistan are in control of the game at the moment.
Well, that's about as classic Thorpe as you can get. A beautiful drive with the ball through the covers and extra cover.
Waqar Younis comes back into the attack. Looked a little stiff in that run-up and gets a stare for his efforts from Jack Russell. Beautifully bowled. Tossed up there. Deceived Jack Russell in the flight and in the turn. It's an extraordinary stance. Well bowled. Now this is all down to where that ball actually pitched, I think.
You'll see here on the super slow-mo, ball It's marginal, isn't it? You've got a split second as an umpire to make a decision.
Lovely shot. And England reached 200.
That was a very sharp chance that Graham Thorpe got away with there. It would have been a nice way for Pakistan to go off the field, but England managed to survive. 200 for 5. It was a good performance. It's been 2 fine days cricket so far. Graham Thorpe remained 43 not out, and Nick Knight, just confirmation there that he finished up on 51 after that umpiring decision. 200 for 5, and the bowling figures. Waqar Younis 1 for 34, bowled pretty well, though not at absolute top pace. Waqar Younis 2 for 42. Just at times, he looked to be the quickest we've seen in this match so far. Mushtaq 1 for 68, bowled pretty well. 28 overs and 5 maidens. And Atta Rahman 1 for 33 and 10. He had a couple of overs there where he moved the ball a considerable amount. And Amir Sohail bowled 3 overs of left arm around the wicket spin. 1 maiden and no wicket for 3. So the state of the match at the end of the second day of this Cornhill Test. England 140 runs behind, 340 all out for Pakistan, 200 for 5. Now with his ideas on today's play and the way the match might shape up, here's Geoffrey Boycott.
It was a seesawing day's cricket with neither side really gaining ascendancy. The batsmen had to work jolly hard, graft away, the ball keeping lower and lower, so runs were not easy to come by. But I think that from Pakistan's point of view, that last wicket stand of 50 runs and the lovely batting by Rashid Latif may well turn out to be vital runs. For England, Stewart, Knight and Thorpe in particular played beautifully. They had to work jolly hard. But at the end of the day, neither side's really got a lead. For England's point of view, Thorpe and the tail-enders must make some runs tomorrow. They can't afford to give Pakistan a lead. And from Pakistan's point of view, if they blow away England quickly and get a lead, they are definitely in the box seat.
Thank you, Geoffrey. Jeff Boycott with his ideas on what might be happening for the remainder of this game. And we've had 2 excellent days so far. Very good fluctuating cricket. And looking forward very much to a third one here. Well, this is the way the game was at the start of the third day. England 148 and Knight 51 and Thorpe 43. Russell's there with a rescue mission of his own for England, and Waqar already has 2 for 42. Well, Geoffrey Boycott is our man down on the pitch, and here's his report.
Well, overcast day, third morning. Have a look at the pitch. A lot of these cracks here. We can see again where they're getting balls that are creeping along the deck. 1 or 2 more here. This is about a length for the seamers. For Mushtaq bowling spinners, I've said all along, he's got to use these footholds, look. He's got to be bowling it off stump. This is off stump for the right-hander batting. He should be hitting the edges of this. And then when Thorpe and the others left-handers are batting, he should be using these stud marks here. I think there's no real reason why he should bowl at leg stump. It's off stump at all the batsmen, using the footmarks, making it difficult and unpredictable to know what the ball is going to do when it hits these footmarks. All in all, it's going to be a good, hard day's cricket. Batsmen having to graft for the runs, and the bowlers, I think, will always be able to make the batsmen work hard.
Thanks, Geoffrey. Geoffrey Boycott with his pitch report on this third morning of the Cornhill Test. And we join it with the 5th ball of the second over. Mushtaq is the bowler. Russell is taking strike, and 3 runs have been added to the overnight total.
Well played. Nice angled bat, and the ball running away down to third man. Three runs. Waqar puts his hands over his eyes. He simply cannot bear to watch it.
Well, it was so quick, and but it surprised the keeper. So he dropped it.
Top edge. Oh, just out of his reach, and that's where it would go normally for the miss sweep.
Well, a big slice of luck here. Going for the sweep, gets the top edge, and it just falls wide of the man.
211 for 5 now. And it could well be that the umpire is going to seek the box of balls and exchange it for one of similar wear and tear. The objection is that it's gone out of shape. That, I guess, is the indication we've had from Mushtaq Ahmed and others looking at the shape of the ball. So much for the change of ball. Beautifully played. That's Thorpe's 50. It couldn't come in a better way, with a classical drive off the back foot through the covers. Much appreciated by the whole of Lord's, but especially by the dressing room.
That's short. Well, it's been an eventful over, that is for sure. His first of the day.
Well, I think it serves them right at slip. The miles too deep for me. A very low, slow pitch, very little bounce. Unless the batsman's actually trying to belt the ball hard and gets a nick, I can't see it flying to slip.
Well, Inzamam's shin has probably saved 4 runs there.
Well, this is a nasty hit. I think Inzamam and the Pakistanis would have preferred that to have gone for 4 than to have missed him. That could be nasty. Maybe he wants some ice on that pretty quick. I always feel one of those suicide positions like that, you really want the 12th man on for that, because he doesn't have to bat or bowl if he gets it. But somebody like Inzamam, who's your leading player, got 100, wonderful 100 in the first innings. You want him to bat again, so you don't want him to go off injured.
This time it avoids Inzamam, avoids extra cover, who actually is the substitute fielder. And 4 runs. That was well timed and well placed. Well, Inzamam doing what is the sensible thing. He's limping his way off with the Pakistan team physiotherapist. And hands over the chains of office. Two men down there. Salim Malik is the one coming round from long leg. And doing a good job, keeping it down to 2. That's the 50 partnership for these two. That's a good shot. Jack Russell managed to get that in front of square. Wasn't a completely flat bat. More of a drag through the leg side.
That's good running. And they'll get some more. Only one from the overthrow. A lot of people tell me that you shouldn't be allowed to take extras when someone hits the stumps. You shouldn't be allowed to get the overthrows, but then you have to take into account that it was actually quite a poor throw. It got the wicketkeeper into a bad position, hit the stumps. If it had been a better throw, there'd have been no overthrows. Slightly disconcerting for the batsman, possibly for the bowler as well. Just forgot to transfer it from one hand to the other. That swinging delivery with the ball into its 88th over, or theoretically so, it's the replacement ball. Yep. 250 up for England, and Thorpe has made 70 of those, Russell 24. I've seen a lot of things in the cricket world over the last 40-odd years, but that's a first. You could probably say that's a favourite bat. And a good crowd in, once again, not quite capacity, but very, very close to it.
Well run.
Slightly bewildered non-taking of the second new ball, but David Gower may have different ideas.
Yes, there has been this long-time aversion to giving up the old ball. The Pakistan bowlers, last time I played against them, which was 1992, were always very reluctant to give away the ball that they had grown to like. And that's why. That ball really swung late, at good pace, and it's flown away off the edge. It's Rashid Latif behind the stumps there, who's done his best to get a glove on it.
He probably could have left that. The wicketkeeper went right across the first slip. He obviously thought he could get it, but he had to go a long way. Still think that first slip here is quite deep, and the keeper himself. You really want to make sure that there is a nick that it carries. It's a long way back from the stumps.
No contest, that's 4. Graham Thorpe is always quick to seize on bad short deliveries. No real pace in this. That ball's old and tired. And the pace that Atta Rahman bowls, this was really something of a gift. Bowled him. Well, that's the perfect way to come back. And that's a vital wicket for Pakistan. Well, what Wasim and Waqar and Mushtaq couldn't do, Atta Rahman has done. He's got rid of Graham Thorpe.
It was a fairly innocuous ball as well, short of a length. It looked as if he had it covered, and then got the inside edge from a high position, just defending on the back foot. I think this dismissal had taken Graham Thorpe by surprise, because I think he thought he'd got it covered. There he was, playing a defensive shot, old ball, so he wasn't really flustered or hurried. And he finishes up being bowled by Atta Rahman for 77. A very, very good innings.
It was a good innings, very fine innings again from Graham Thorpe, but yet another one that comes to an end between 50 and 100. Fine shot. Well, he's met that square on with the face of the blade. Good positive shot from Dominic Cork. Oh, beautifully caught. That's a good catch at second slip. Saeed Anwar, I think it is. Dominic Cork, one decent shot for 3 and he's gone straight away, straight afterwards. As happens so often, one wicket brings another one quickly. And Atta Rahman, having got rid of Graham Thorpe, now adds Dominic Cork to his list of victims.
Well, I know tail-enders aren't as good at batting as they are at bowling, but that's a poor shot, really. When it's short and wide, you don't go wafting at it, fourth ball, or you shouldn't. Ian Salisbury, the new batsman.
England now 76 runs behind, but only 3 wickets remaining. And this is where Pakistan have a chance to take a firmish grip on this game. Ian Salisbury is the new man. Edged away, but safely, and gets 4 for it. Well, Atta Rahman has gone from being the third seamer in his side to unplayable in these last 10 minutes.
This is where they've been good in the past, Pakistan, with having Wasim and Waqar. When they've got themselves into decent positions with opportunities to grasp a nice lead. Along have come Waqar with his toe crushers, his fast swinging Yorkers, and they've been able to take quite nice grips on matches by virtue of they've been able to polish off the tail enders. Oh, there it is. Out, he's gone. Well, if we in the commentary box know that Waqar's going to bowl them, the tail enders should know, and that was spot on. That's his trademark, that in-swinging Yorker, and it was an absolute beauty.
Well, it's one thing to know it's coming, or think you know it's coming. It's completely another thing to deal with it. Just make your own minds up. The pad is right in front of middle stump. And that ball hits him in front of middle and leg, which strikes me that maybe it was missing leg stump. So 3 wickets have fallen in the space of just 14 deliveries. It's now 269 for 8, and Alan Mullally is the new man. Well, that's another big shout. This time all it gets is a shake of the head.
Well, the ball was quick. It hit the batsman before he chanced to get the bat down. Good decision by the umpire. Just missing going down the slope, but not with a lot.
Well, no danger to the toe. No problems involving the umpire. A very quick full toss has done for Alan Mullally.
Well, I think that was a bit quick, David.
Well, it was quick enough, put it that way. And it swung in between bat and pad, demolished that off stump.
Watch it swing. Oh, he was aiming for the Yorker there. He wasn't really going for the full toss, but he'll take it. It's a wicket.
Well, certainly enough swing for Alan Mullally. Success again for Waqar Younis. This is why Pakistan is so dangerous. 260 for 5 it was, 269 for 9 it is now. Simon Brown is at the crease. England's number 11, playing in his first Test match. And more runs. Just the one slip there.
Yeah, he just steered this ball deliberately down, opened the face. He's much more comfortable with the seam up than he is the spinners, is Jack Russell.
He'll get 4. That's actually good cricket. But with the field up, all intent on saving 1, this is a great response. Jack Russell won't mind that at all. If Test match cricket was all down to just a couple of stairs, it'd be an easy game. Poked away. 4 more. And that follows the pattern of the previous over from Waqar Younis. 5th ball went for 4. Maybe not pretty, but certainly effective. That's all over now. Simon Brown's leg stump rearranged. And Atar-ur-Rahman has done the trick for Pakistan. Simon Brown bowled for 1. England all out for 285.
Well, he deserved that, really, because he was the man that got Graham Thorpe out. We tried to pitch it up a Yorker, he hit the pads and cannoned on the stumps, but 4 wickets for Atar-ur-Rahman. And that's really well bowled, because he's done the damage when Pakistan was stuck. They couldn't get Jack Russell or Graham Thorpe out. So very well bowled.
Well, that's a fine performance from the Pakistan bowlers. It looked as though England would get up close to the Pakistan first innings, and then suddenly the tail went. Cork for 3, Salisbury 5, Mullally no score, and Brown for 1, with Russell unbeaten on 41. Good knock from him again on this one of his favourite grounds. 285 for England, and the bowling figures for Pakistan. Great match so far for Rahman. 15.4 overs, 3 maidens, 4 for 50. Wicket for Mushtaq, 1 for Wasim. And Waqar, 24 overs, 6 maidens, 4 for 69. He had that devastating Yorker going very well once again. So the state of play after the 2 innings, Pakistan 340, England 285. Thorpe, a good knock from him, 77. And Knight 51, England 55 runs behind. Now the Pakistan second innings, they had a problem because Amir Sohail was unable to bat, and Saeed Anwar went out with Kabir, the young player making his debut in this Test match. We join them with the 4th ball of the innings. It's the first over. Cork is the bowler. Saeed Anwar is taking strike, and so far no runs on the board.
It's a nice firm push through mid-wicket. That was a beautiful delivery, and it got rich applause from some of the people here. That's the way to bowl. Oh, that's a beauty. Oh, that went up the hill, up the slope. Nothing much the youngster could do about that. That's a beauty. Pitched on, went up.
A good shot before.
Fine shot, beautifully played. So much power in that, and so much style. Well, the ball absolutely whizzes away there. Beautiful stroke. He did more than ease it, he just clipped it. It just rocketed to the boundary. The O's go up because the crowd saw that as a catch. Might have been half a finger to it. We'll see. Went flying through the gully. But it's gone for 4. All looks very possible, of course, in slow motion, but when the ball is flying at you in the gully, you're lucky to get a hand to it. Well, he was coming down anyway. He got to the pitch of it. You couldn't say that was badly bowled, but it's gone for 6. That's the old charge of the Light Brigade, that. And off he went.
Yes, it was just like Inzamam in the first innings. He set off straight away, first ball. He missed his, but Saeed hit that many a mile.
Got some luck there. Well, he played that on merit. He got to the pitch a bit, but he had a little luck that the ball skewered off the bat. Fine. England are in a very difficult situation out there. They can't afford to set over-attacking fields, can't afford to give away too many runs. Great deal of good fortune in that. The ball slips away off the outside edge, thick outside edge. 4 runs to third man. And I think Mullally exchanged the time of day with Saeed Anwar.
And Russell's gone up for that. Buckner's saying no. The batsman's not moving.
Hit the arm, hasn't it? All the Englishmen in the crowd wanting to be given out. So watch here, watch the ball bounce. And he thinks it hit the arm. The umpire agrees with him.
Good stroke. You can't stray on to the batsman's pads like that, particularly if you happen only to have one man on the leg side. The massive field is over on the offside.
No luck, it went down, it wasn't a catch. That's 50 for Saeed Anwar, a very good 50. Some good shots in that.
Useful.
Oh, that's a good shot. Wasn't a bad ball by Graham Hick at all, that. Yes, it's hard to catch the ball when it starts going down the slope at Lord's. But there'll be some relief there for the youngster, Shadab Kabir. Nice use of the feet, big long stride to the pitch of the ball. Because he's been stuck for some time, not being able to score, and it's been playing on his mind a bit. So he'll feel better after that.
It's timed well enough and far enough away from the fielder not to be a problem.
Well, just for a moment, the batsman's heart was probably in his mouth, but he then knew that it was going very well wide of mid-off.
Graham Hick filling in here for England. It's actually very nicely pitched. There's the Pakistan lead, and that's an impressive one with still 10 wickets in hand in the second innings. Slow ball and down. Graham Hick with a desperate effort to get there, and for a moment he looked as though he'd made it.
Well, they've been working for a mistake of England. A lovely slower ball, the batsman into it too quick, and it looked for all the world as though it was going to be out, but somehow he just didn't quite get there. Once you give them a little bit of width from over the wicket, they're going to have a slash at it. There's no way they're going to leave that outside off stump. That brings up the 100 partnership. 102, the opening stand.
Just past Michael Atherton. Again, it's the slower delivery that brings something of an error. It was an outside edge. It flew pretty quickly just to Michael Atherton's left. That's the way it goes. Would you believe it? Well, it doesn't seem to matter. Poor old Mark Elam's bowled yet another good slow delivery. It's stopped on the pitch, this one.
Good stroke. Went in the air, but it was between fielders. No problem at all. It was a good shot. Safe. Shadab Kabir has gone on to 32. Mullally has had a few words in his young ear, possibly in both of them. The 4 lights have gone on now. Now, the batsmen having said they'll stay on, the light must deteriorate further before the umpires will offer it to them again. Well, now, was it a good decision?
Worth a shout. And there was just a twitch of Peter Willey's fingers behind his back there. Almost as though he was thinking about saying, yep. That should be it. Peter Willey points the finger. Finally, a nice simple chance for Jack Russell. England's perseverance is rewarded with the first wicket of his second innings. Saeed Anwar caught behind for 88. Pakistan's first wicket falls in this second innings with the score on 136. Now the new man, Ijaz Ahmed. That's better. That's through to Jack Russell. Shadab Kabir is out. And Dominic Cork is delighted. So one brings two. 2 wickets, that is, in 7 deliveries. Saeed Anwar out first, now Shadab Kabir. And in deference to the conditions out there, Pakistan have sent out the night watchman, Mushtaq Ahmed. And that's too close to the middle of the bat. Well, that's not a bad shot either. 4 runs. Will that go all the way? Comfortably. Bouncing off the balcony. 6 runs to Ijaz Ahmed.
Well, this is a very bad ball. Short, pitching leg stump. On a slow pitch like this, if you're going to make a slight error in length as a spin bowler, you must over-pitch rather than under-pitch.
That's in the air, but it's going to be 4. Right between Ian Salisbury and Michael Atherton. Just play it as you see it. That's out, comfortably caught by Graham Thorpe. This is turning into a good half hour for England. That carried really well.
Just lovely line it was. The length was good. The line was there. He had to play at it. It wasn't a particularly good defensive shot, but give a lot of credit to the bowler. I always say, if you get the line and the length right around off stump, I don't care how good a player you are.
3 more overs were bowled, but only 1 more run to take it up to 162 for 3 at the close. Inzamam came out. A good idea from Waqar Younis to make sure his 2 batsmen are there to start off on the 4th morning. Ijaz Ahmed 20 not out. A fine double from Saeed Anwar, 88 to go with his half-century in the first innings, and Kabir shows a lot of promise. He was quite slow, but did a very good job there, making 33, and Mushtaq, the night watchman, dismissed for 5. 16 extras, 162 on the board for 3. And England, well, the wickets going to Cork and Brown and Mullally. Mullally bowled with plenty of pace, and Cork, as Atherton describes him, was the gem in the attack. Salisbury got some turn, and Brown picked up the one there late in the day. And after 3 days, Pakistan 217 ahead. They're in good shape. 162 for 3 in the second innings, and 2 days still to go. I'd have my money on them at the moment, I would think. Well, I'm not too sure whether Geoffrey Boycott will agree with that, but we can hear from him now.
Another seesaw day of cricket, with England doing well to start with. A lovely partnership between Thorpe and Jack Russell. Russell gritty and determined, Thorpe playing splendidly. But what
is just looking, not quite desperately yet, but looking searchingly for a draw. This is the way the day began. 162 for 3, 88 for Saeed Anwar. A lot of time for him as a player. Had a lovely innings, the first attempt, 74, and Shadab Kabir, very promising young player, 33. Ijaz Ahmed came out in the poor light, made 20 not out. That was a good decision from Waqar Younis. Mushtaq Ahmed, the night watchman, went, and then he sent Inzamam out. He's not yet off the mark, and there were 16 extras, 162 for 3. Now the bowling figures for England: 1 for 33 for Cork, and 1 for 24 for Brown, 1 for 34 for Mullally. Salisbury should get some turn out there today, but England are quite desperately up against it in the state of the match, but Pakistan, with that 217-run lead, in a very, very strong position. The pitch will play a part today. I mentioned Salisbury, but there are other bowlers who'll do well. Here's Geoffrey Boycott now with his pitch report.
4th morning, and a lot of footmarks made by the bowlers follow through. Some of these areas here are actually on the pitch. and the leg spinners from both sides are going to be aiming into this rough here. You can see here very close, this is just about outside and on one of the stumps, this here. There's something to aim at there for the spinner, and here this side. Not quite as much, surprisingly, on this side of the pitch, but there's enough there for the spinners to bowl into and create a few problems for the batsmen. The pitch itself, you can see the cracks. They've not opened much more. It's getting lower and lower. One or two going through the top here. There's a mark there that's really gone through the top. We've seen the edges before cracking. They will carry on doing the same, and it'll just get lower and lower and slower. I think by tomorrow we'll see one or two creepers coming along. So just hard work for the batsmen, and the bowlers will always be in a little bit of control.
Geoffrey Boycott out in the centre of the ground on this fourth morning. We join play now with the fourth ball of the second over. Dominic Cork is the bowler. Inzamam has taken a strike. No runs have been added to the overnight total.
Oh dear. That looked like bat and pad and lobbed up, fortunately wide enough of Brown. Brown didn't seem to move either. He didn't seem to recognise that that possibly was a catch. Looked to me as if it was trapped between bat and pad and just lobbed up.
That's better timed. He's a good player, Ijaz. At his best, he never tries to play outside his own limitations. He just lets the ball come to him and just plays the appropriate shot at the appropriate moment. Little tickle down the leg side, and Cork pays a penalty for straying. The line just straying down leg side, and that's just a little nudge. 4 runs. That's well played. There's 3 men on the leg side, and he played that very sweetly just in front of the man at square. That's Dominic Cork. An excellent bit of fielding, and that lifts the whole performance of the England side. Good shot. Remember, he brought Alex Stewart up from third man a couple of overs ago, so there's no man down there. 4 runs.
Yes, he knew he could play freely if he could get the ball anywhere past second slip. It was 4.
A second helping. Enjoyed that. 8 off the over. Nice slower ball. Well, that's bad luck for the bowler. Beautifully concealed, slower delivery, and that prompted a false stroke.
Yes, I think Inzamam was trying to work it through mid-wicket. There's a big gap there from the man behind square and to straight mid-on.
Well, it wasn't a bad bouncer, but it was quite brilliantly hit. It climbed quite high, and Inzamam did well to get bat on ball there. Oh, well played. Well, we say fielders can't be everywhere. I don't think it would have mattered whether the cover was in close or standing back. That would have found the gap. It was perfectly placed and very crisp follow through. 4 runs.
Oh, that's a beauty, isn't it? This pitch now in its 4th day, a lot of wear and tear. And that's an absolute beauty.
Barry Norman, a keen cricket fan, often seen here at Lord's. Well, that's the release valve. And 4 more. We're seeing more of the true Ijaz Ahmed this morning. Started to play well last night. Good delivery. Well, he found the edge. Just couldn't get it to carry to slip. There's only one slip there.
Yes, he just relaxed the hands a little bit. He didn't push at it.
There's the lead. Good shot. Well, Ijaz has been in a pretty positive frame of mind this morning. Up until now, he's waited for something wide of off stump from the seamers to have a go at. This time, he set his stall out early. Good use of the feet. .200 up for Pakistan. And they're making very steady progress this morning towards some sort of unattainable target. Oh, that's past Mark Elam. Unusual for him, he's a very good fielder. And although it was very firmly struck, he'd have backed himself to have stopped it. Good use of the feet. And that's very good batting. Inzamam might have had that blow on the leg yesterday, but he was down the pitch there in no time, moved very easily indeed.
Oh dear. Well, perhaps it came off the batsman's pad. Yes, that's exactly what it did. Steve Buckner has told them to go back because the batsman just pushed his pad at it. So well fielded. Wonderful shot. He was down the track before Salisbury let it go. I suspect perhaps the bowler should have stopped it.
Great shot. Well, Mark Elam has been the model of economy until now. It wasn't a bad ball. A shot of a man who's playing with real confidence. That's 50 for Ijaz Ahmed. Took his time in making those last couple of runs to get him to that mark. But that's a good recovery for him. An ignominious dismissal in the first innings. That's well bowled. That's a nice line. Well, that's going to be one bounce. Over cover. That landed about 2 yards in from the rope. The 250 is up.
Good innings from Ijaz Ahmed. 62 not out. He's only faced 113 balls. There's 4 more. He is extremely severe on anything short outside off stump, and that's the last thing you should be bowling with a second new ball. It's not far away. Nice gentle smile from umpire Buckner. Not what you call a beaming smile in return from Dominic Cork. But I'd say he's probably struck fractionally outside off stump. There's a man on the fence at point for Ijaz Ahmed. 100 stand between these two, and they've played very well. Very, very good shot. He's a good hooker. Very good square of the wicket player, Ijaz. It's a perfectly legitimate and very good shot. A century and a half century in this match for Inzamam al-Haq. A very good cricketer. Beautiful stroke. Gives the substitute fielder the opportunity to go and pick up the ball, but that was a terrific blow. Got it past Michael Atherton's right hand with great force.
Well, that was an even better shot. Slower ball from Dominic Cork. It was nicely bowled on a reasonably good length, but Inzamam saw it very quickly and still timed it well enough to get 3 runs.
He's given him. Yes, he has. And Ijaz looked to me as though he was walking. Either that or he was walking to do a little circle and go back, but it's got him on the back leg rather than the front.
Well, he was working that far too square. He's played very, very well today. He's timed the ball sweetly in the middle of the bat. He'll be very disappointed with that because he was working the ball far too square on the leg side.
Salim Malik is the new batsman. Beautifully bowled, last ball of the over.
Fine shot. Slower ball, but a bigger hit. Terrific blow, that. Wonderful synchronization. It was a slower ball, held back up, bang. Another wonderful shot. Seemed to have reached a very important moment when Pakistan, miles ahead, suddenly begin to dominate with a vengeance. And the 300 comes up. Inzamam has to limp it, but there's nothing at all lame about this Pakistan innings. 300 for 4. It's in the air, caught him. Inzamam ul Haq goes for 70. He's played with that injured leg right throughout quite beautifully and made the stretch out of the pitch of the ball, but suddenly he gets them halfway there and hits a straightforward catch to mid-off.
Yes, and I think he played exceptionally well, knowing that he's got a bad leg. He played beautifully in the first innings, and a good catch there by Mark Elam. Safe pair of hands. 70 of 188 deliveries. Inzamam certainly played very well.
Wasim Akram, the captain.
Wasim Akram there, 68 matches, 95 innings, averaging under 20. That's well, there it is. Everybody knows what he's capable of. He is a very good striker, and in fact I reckon him to be one of the very good all-rounders.
That's equally dismissive.
Well, he's certainly showing the way, because he's the captain. He knows exactly what Pakistan's required. He has done the planning. Slightly overfished by Mark Elam there, getting the treatment on the offside.
He's made his intentions quite clear, so this is all to the benefit of the people here at the ground and television viewers, that there are some brisk runs on the way. Well, that's plan A anyway.
They need these runs. I mean, they have to score a minimum of 4 runs per over, and Mullah pitching this up, and Wasim getting the better of it.
There have been times I thought Salisbury should have been on. I'm not too certain about this one. With the left-hander and a big hitter in, perhaps he'll pick up Salim Malik's wicket, and also Wasim Akram, but it seems to me slightly unusual. There's quite a bit of spin there. That'll be watched with some interest by Mushtaq Ahmed, the Pakistan leg spinner. Well, there you go. Very, very powerful hitter. That's beautifully bowled. We showed you one earlier in the day, which we reckoned was a classic leg spinner. So's that.
Wonderful placement. There are 4 men guarding the covers, supposedly, and that picked out the gap perfectly. Well, the lead goes past 400. There are going to be problems for England's batsmen reading the spin of Mushtaq Ahmed. Alam Malali certainly didn't read the spin there.
Well, that was embarrassing schoolboy stuff.
Well, once again we see an England player attempting to influence the decision of the umpires here. Peter Willey eventually makes it down there to make his own decision. Maybe not. Well, Salim Malik is content just to pick up the singles. That one takes Pakistan to 350. That's out of the meat of the bat. A good piece of fielding. Well, that's interesting. After 2 balls of this over with tea just about due, it seems that Pakistan have declared.
And that has set England a very difficult target. A good knock there from Pakistan, 352 for 5. And that partnership between Salim Malik and Wasim Akram, very valuable at the end. They scored quickly. Inzamam, brilliant once again. 70 from him to go with a century in the first innings. And Ijaz, who I know to be a very talented player, on 76. 352 for 5. And the partnerships, well, there's the one between Ijaz and Inzamam. Inzamam was not out overnight, and they finished up putting on 118. Another century stand up the top there with Saeed Anwar and Kabir. And the bowling figures for England, 3 for Cork, 1 for Brown, none for Salisbury. Mullally got 1, and Hick and Elam between them bowled 23 overs. I thought Elam bowled better than that at different times. He's starting to look quite a useful cricketer. At the end of that Pakistan innings, where they were 352 for 5 to go with their 340 all out in the first innings against England's 285, they had set England a target of 408 to win. We join the England second innings now with the first ball. It's the second over being bowled. No runs on the board, and it's Waqar Younis bowling to Atherton.
I think that was close.
I think Atherton not only beaten by the low bounce but also by the movement.
Now, we saw in the Pakistan innings the England fielders taking, and Dominic Cork was one, taking a particular interest in the selection of the next ball. Did make the point then that this is a job that has to be really left to the umpires. Waqar Younis smilingly obliging with his assistants. Good shot. That's pulled away well in front of square. Michael Atherton off the mark. England have their first runs off the bat. That's a good shot too. Well, it's a slow pitch, we know that. But the ball is at its hardest here at the start of the innings. These men are not slow bowlers. And Michael Atherton in good positive mind here. Big shout, and he's got him. Peter Willey raises the finger. McKnight is gone for 1. It was certainly a quick delivery. That's the first thing. Where did that ball pitch? Did it pitch on the line between the stumps, between the wickets? Stump view says it's very, very close to the line of leg stump.
McKnight falling once again in this test, LBW, this time to Waqar. In fact, both the innings he fell to Waqar.
The height was one aspect that would have been of great interest to Peter Willey. And I don't think that would have gone over the top. Alex Stewart on his way out. And this is the testing time for England, testing time for Alex Stewart. First wicket is down with a score
from the final day's play at Lord's.
Needing 9 more England wickets to win the match. Pakistan will be looking to Waqar Younis and Wasim Akram to make early inroads this morning. Having dismissed Nick Knight for only one yesterday evening, the tourists would have been in an even stronger position had they held on to the chance offered by Michael Atherton off Atta-ur-Rahman when he was only 19. He'd moved on to 24 by the close, and Alex Stewart had gone to 46. England 74 for 1, and still with some hope for the final day. Well, welcome to the last day, possibly 6 hours or 90 overs of this Cornhill Test match between England and Pakistan. Stewart 46. Nick Knight just confirming his dismissal LBW to Waqar yesterday evening for 1. 3 extras, 74 for 1. And the bowling for Pakistan, that wicket going to Waqar in 7 overs and 1 maiden at a cost of 25. Wasim, 10 overs, 4 maidens, none for 12. Danger man there, Mushtaq, 10 overs, 4 maidens and none for 16. Rahman bowled 6 quite good overs for 18, and Salim Malik just brought his arm over for 1 over. So coming into the final day, England need 334 more runs to win. Bradman got those on his own at Headingley way back in 1930. It'll be a stiffer task for England today with their 9-wicket standing. The forecast may come to England's aid. I doubt very much if they can make all those runs, but the forecast is not good. They say that there are going to be showers, some heavy and prolonged, and there'll be a light southwesterly breeze. Temperature 21, that's not going to matter very much to anyone. It's the rain that might cause the problems. Well, we join play now on this final day. In the first over, it's the 3rd ball. Mushtaq is the bowler, Atherton is taking strike, and no runs have been added to the overnight score. So there's no pad there.
Well, from Pakistan's point of view, they'd like that delivery straight. Because I don't care how good a batsman you are, if you get a creeper or a shooter, that just about was, you're going to struggle to play it.
Well, he got that away for 2. I'll have a look for 3, but I don't think I'll get back for that. I just had the feeling that there might have been a tremendous shout if that had got through. Atherton seemed to go right across the crease there. There it is for Stewart, a half century. His 1950 in Test cricket. He's made 700s as well.
Didn't carry, went down, partly through Alex Stewart, relaxing his hands. No real bounce in the pitch, you see, as well. That doesn't help the bowler. Well bowled. Just a little bit of swing. That's not enough to get through. Got the inside edge and scooted past the leg stump.
Outside off stump, little short run from Waqar.
Well, it was a nice accurate delivery off the shortish run, and that's a good decision, isn't it?
Wasim is definitely not happy with this cricket ball. Every innings of this Test match has seen these boxes arrive on the edge of the field there. That fence at the bottom of the pavilion has been used up a dozen times now for the same purpose. That'll go for 4.
Well, that was well bowled, really. I mean, hardly any bowler in this match has got the ball that high with so much pace. It's so slow is the pitch.
Very well bowled. Well, there wasn't much Michael Atherton could do to counter that one. Just to count his lucky stars, he didn't nick it.
I think it was more the pace of the delivery than ball actually doing anything. He just has the ability to sort of kiss the top and make the ball just hurry on. That's how he's got his wickets before.
The 100 is up.
Always the threat, I'm afraid, right throughout this day, although it looks very peaceful and controlled out there as far as England's concerned. There's always the threat that with a breakthrough come and the second wicket and an appeal there. Big shout, a very big shout.
I think Michael Atherton misread this, but I don't think the ball came back far enough. Yeah, it's sort of running into him, but he's quite a long way outside off stump.
Oh, beautiful bowling. The googly turns in, and that just goes straight on, maybe just a hint of leaving, but beautiful flight.
Oh, another one. Well, everything's been going perfectly for England. Ball hitting middle of the bat, and suddenly the bat can't find the ball.
And Michael Atherton is a very good player of spin. Good shot. Played the ball late, let it come right onto him. Smooth, flowing bat, and 3 runs to Alex Stewart. Mushtaq continues his bewildering form out there, bewildering to the batsman, that is. Very hard to explain the sudden confusion out there. But that's very typical of Michael Atherton. He can look in trouble, and then he can sweep a ball away for what should have been 1 or 2, but in fact is 4. Nobody down there at third man, so that'll be 4 runs. One of the stray deliveries from Atto Rehman, overpitched and wide enough for Mike Atherton to swing the bat at it. 113 for 1. Apart from Mushtaq Ahmed's bowling, I think England easing towards the comfort zone, but this little man certainly has posed some problems over the last 3 or 4 overs. Well, they all go up that time. They appeal for LBW, a catch for everything. That was a ball that was considerably slower than anything he's bowled so far. Floated up higher. That's a 100 partnership. Very tenacious partnership between Alex Stewart and Michael Atherton. More appeals. It's very difficult for an umpire when everyone near the bat appeals, especially silly point. He wouldn't have a very good view of it.
Well, I think they're good shouts. I mean, it's quite obvious. I said a couple of overs ago that the batsmen are not reading him properly. That one running in again. And it's just a question of whether the umpire thinks it's running enough. And I agree with the umpire at the moment.
Finds the gap, and that's a splendid shot from Michael Atherton. Atto Rehman now perhaps tiring a little. He's overpitched a couple of times in the last 2 overs.
lovely footwork. A big stride, high left elbow. The bat going straight through the line of the ball, weight forward. It's as perfect as you'll get.
That was a short, loose ball, and that's exactly what Atherton's good at. Oh, brilliant stop. Shadab Kabir is the fielder. That's a brilliant stop, but that's the advantage of youth. Well-timed stroke, is running quite quickly up that hill. Beautiful stop. Michael Atherton on 49 now. And that's his 50. Very well played. There's a man back. Had he cared to hook that in the air. Just got inside, deflected it. Sort of innings he loves playing. Back to the ball, game to save. First class 50.
Oh dear. Well, he's causing so many problems all of a sudden, his Mushtaq. England batsmen have stuck at it with the seamers. And then suddenly in the last half an hour they've played and missed at Mushtaq. Well, this one must have pitched in the rough and gone like a firecracker. Giving us byes.
Got away with it. It was high enough, very cleverly bowled by Wasim Akram. Made it bounce high enough that the batsman in no way would be able to control the stroke. But Atherton got away with it. Stewart has picked out the spot where he wants to hit it. Just keep it down through mid-wicket. A change of bowling at the pavilion end. It's not going to be pace, it's going to be Shadab Kabir. He's making his Test match debut here. It's in the air, but it's safe. Sort of ball you're likely to bowl if it's your first appearance at Lord's, the ball in hand.
Well, it's his first-class bowl of the tour, and he does look a bit rusty.
Stewart now goes to 78, Atherton 58.
Michael Atherton hitting that first ball of the afternoon through extra cover for 4. Beautifully timed. And he gets the 4 that the shot really does deserve. Moin Khan, the substitute fielder, was down there at deep square leg and looked to have it covered.
I think when you see him fielding this, realise why he's the reserve wicketkeeper.
The partnership now worth 150. So full credit to Atherton and Stewart for the way they've played. Very sensibly, very watchfully. That's well played. Head in hands for Waqar Younis. And a man who wasn't quite so well set as this. A man who wasn't on 86 not out might have struggled with this. Mushtaq still trying to find some inspiration around the wicket. Oh, well taken. Nicely caught at slip. Asif Mustafa was the fielder there, substitute fielder. And the ployers work for Pakistan and for Mushtaq Ahmed.
And he just went to push it. A little lapse in concentration, really. You know, he's done 4 hours there yesterday and today. That's a long way wide of leg stump, 1.5 foot nearly, certainly a foot and a bit. An easy catch in the end because just a simple glance. Graham Thorpe's the new batsman.
Leg byes. Now, it'd be interesting to see, just to judge the height of that one. Alex Stewart has tried 3 or 4 of these paddled pull shots in the last couple of overs. Mushtaq persisting around the wicket now, bowling to Alex Stewart. Oh! Well, Alex Stewart must learn the lesson, I think. Never easy to predict the bounce or turn. That was very short and very wide of leg stump, hence the shot. But then if you don't hit it, the stumps are wide open. That could have cannoned off the pad. That would have been a desperate way to get out. They're appealing for the catch off the glove, and it's given. So this tactic really is working now for Mushtaq. Alex Stewart just a touch unlucky. Having, it seemed, learnt the lesson, having decided that anything pitching out outside leg stump he could leave alone. Just didn't get the gloves out of the way. And this time the appeal wholly justified and the right decision. Off the thigh, off the glove. Not a happy way to go. Alex Stewart had done everything right apart from getting that glove out of the way. England's now 171 for 3, and Graham Hick is the new man at the crease, under not a little pressure. England now really do need another good partnership. Big appeal. Look at them all. They're all round the bat. Steve Buckner, at least, is a calming influence.
I think they're a little excited, are the Pakistanis? Oh, dear. Well, maybe he's got something to be excited about.
Full toss and 4 runs. That's welcome relief. Maybe not for Mushtaq. Harold Dennis to get to his chum's bird in the front row. The last time we saw him here, he was under some sort of real pressure. And the only pressure there is to his eyes. If he turns round, he might be under some pressure, but as long as he looks at the pitch, he'll be fine. Now, this battle was won in the first innings by Waqar Younis. And it's won again. That's comprehensive. Well, there's absolutely no doubt whatsoever about that one. Whether or not Graham Hick was a lucky boy in the last over to get away with it now no longer matters. This is Waqar Younis's standard delivery, and it was plenty good enough there for Graham Hick.
That's really well bowled. He's done him twice in similar ways. That one not quite as full as the first innings. He has been out of form this year as Graham Hick, but that's really a poor dismissal.
Well, it is such a good delivery. Mark Elam is the next man who will have to face that problem. Pakistan really back in the hunt now. England 176 for 4.
Waqar from the pavilion end. runs in this. A good firm plonk on the leg side with the bat. Big shout. Demand for a catch behind the wickets, but they seem to accept it very quickly. The negative.
Well, it's well bowled and very close to the outside edge. I think that's gone past. Oh, it's got him.
The leg stump goes back. Full-length delivery is the one really that Mark Elam would have not expected to have missed. But Mushtaq Ahmed just gnawing away on that leg stump. And he injected the doubt into Elam's mind as to whether I should pat it away, should I play it, should I hit it. And prolific turn from outside leg stump. Jack Russell is the man who comes in. The last 4 wickets have gone down of 38 deliveries. It's that hard slinging Yorker, which Jack Russell did well to keep out.
Yes, that's well played. There were a couple of instances in the first innings when Waqar Younis shook up Jack Russell with short pitch deliveries. And he's definitely tried to do that again at the start of this over.
Caught him. It looked like the old Jack Russell leave shot. But the ball was quicker than that. Nicked the edge, through to the keeper. Jack Russell's gone for 1. 182 for 6.
Well, it's a great delivery to a left-hander. Started in line, started straight, and went away from him. But Jack Russell will be livid with himself.
Yes, I'm sure lots of viewers at home will be asking how 2 England batsmen can put on 154, Atherton and Stewart, and the rest can contribute, well, almost nothing. 182 for 6. Fine stroke. Cork is off the mark. Three runs to Dominic Cork.
Well, drop catch here. Almost throwing it up before he really caught it.
Oh, he's made a mess of that. Both of them have, actually, but in different context. Waqar has bowled extremely well.
Well, it's a thrilling sight to watch if you love your cricket. It's not so good for Dominic Cork, I know, and if you're a big England supporter, but if you just love cricket, you've got to pay tribute to his speed and accuracy and the skill of polishing off tail-enders, and I might add some good batsmen as well with it. It is a cracking delivery. No wonder his teammates run up to congratulate him. He's been doing that all his career, ever since he burst on the scene. He's been able to knock over tail-enders, and they must come in like Ian Salisbury, the new batsman. They must come in with trepidation.
Good lesson for young bowlers here. Now, just have a look at the angle of the seam here with Waqar Younis. There it is. It's pretty much straight down the pitch. Now there's the round arm delivery. Seems not doing anything particular. It's not staying there, so it's a swerve rather than swing. And it's a beauty. Ball. Good quicker ball. Yes, giving him LBW. Well, it looked as though it got a bit of bounce as well as being a faster ball. Steve Buckner has given it to Mushtaq, who's bowled very well. Thorpe looks anything but delighted.
Slip was shouting for the catch, but I don't think Mushtaq was. He was shouting for the LBW.
Well, it wasn't low.
Just about the height of the stump.
186 for 8, and that after the partnership between Atherton and Stewart, which realised 154. There's no long leg.
Well, that's all right. I told you, he's not a total mug with the bat, isn't in Salisbury. He knows there's nobody down there. Well, Waqar must be getting a little bit tired now. He's bowled magnificently since lunch. England's 200 up for 8 wickets down. I don't think we'll worry about the target of 408 at this stage.
I suppose they're asking, did it come from bat onto pad, or was it just speared down into the ground?
Well, I think he hit it all right, and it hit the boot all right, but I think he hit the floor before the boot. That's a good hit as well, I think. Yes, Steve Buckner has withstood the pressure very well. And so has Alan Mullally.
He's given that, but I'm not too sure that Mullally is overjoyed about it. It looked like the wrong one, and it looked as though it might have been a bit too good for Mullally.
I think Steve Buckner's given him out from pad first. He's sure about that. Pad and then maybe gloves on the way. I don't think he touched it with the bat on the way to the pad. It doesn't matter, Mushtaq's got 5 wickets in the match.
208 for 9 now. Last right's coming up with Simon Brown, the batsman, coming out. Not quite far enough up to be a Yorker. Negotiated, not quite in admirable safety by Brown, but he's still there. That's a good shot. Nice shot for 4 from Salisbury. And 1 ball still to go, where he may be looking for the single.
Well, I said that he's no mug with the bat. He isn't. He bats low down in the order, but he can handle himself reasonably well.
He's telling him to let it go to the boundary. The skipper, Wazim Akram. I didn't hear you, Captain, I'm sorry. The skipper, Waqar Younis, has deliberately bowled a short one, which Salisbury has hit off the middle of the bat down to long leg. So everything's worked well, and Waqar Younis casually walked down the pitch, waiting for the fielder to let it go for 4, so Brown would have the strike at the other end. Oh dear. They might just have got 2 there if they'd wanted it, but Salisbury has decided that Simon Brown can handle Mushtaq Ahmed. Good shot for 4. I wonder Salisbury's given him the job. Four more to Salisbury, 38 for him now. Salisbury has strike, he can take it on to the tea interval. No, he can't. That's it. Attempting the little paddle around, and congratulations come from the 2 England batsmen to all the Pakistan players, and that is a very good win. And the man on the centre of your screen there, Waqar Younis, deserves high credit. He skippered them very, very well out there. 4 double-figure scores in that scorecard there, with Salisbury the last man out, 243, and a tremendous performance from Pakistan. Great partnership at the start, 154, Atherton and Stewart. They carried on from 74 for 1 today, and then Salisbury 40. And those partnerships noted there give you a complete picture of the day. 154, Atherton, Stewart. Then you need to go right down the bottom to Salisbury, Mullally, 22, and Salisbury, Brown, 35, when all was gone and forgotten. Now the bowling, dramatic stuff. 1 wicket for Wazim, the last one to fall, Ian Salisbury, but 9 wickets to Mushtaq and Waqar Younis. And a beautiful exhibition of bowling. One and over the wrist spinner, the other one a great fast bowler. And Rahman wasn't used there today, nor Malik, nor Kabir. And it's just one of those things you can look back on and marvel at the skill of those bowlers. That's the way it finished up. Pakistan winning by 164 runs. They lead the series 1-0. Only 3 matches in this Cornhill series. England 285 all out, and Thorpe making 77 in the first innings, and then the second innings 243, Stewart 89. And just confirmation on the right-hand side there, Mushtaq 5 for 57 and Waqar 4 for 85. And that great fast bowling performance produced the award of the man of the match from Jonathan Agnew. Waqar Younis is the name on your card there. And David Gower, after the match, spoke with the 2 skippers and the man of the match, Waqar Younis.
How depressing is it for you as a captain, having done all that hard work yourself, having set the example, to suddenly see those 8 wickets disappear in such a hurry? Surely you can expect some sort of effort in the middle of the order.
Well, to be fair, I mean, you know, we're very much outplayed throughout the whole of the match, and I'd much prefer us to be in a position to be pushing for a victory rather than having to bat 4 sessions to save the game, which on the last day of on a wearing pitch against 3 high-quality bowlers is always a struggle. But, you know, we could have done it. We didn't quite.
No, it puts the pressure really on you. You saw the advantage in the first series of the summer of going 1 up in a 3-match series. Now you're 1 down. What are your prospects for the next 2?
Well, there's 2 matches to go and we can win the series 2-1. We believe we're good enough to do it. Hopefully the conditions at Headingley will be slightly different to here, and we may see us play to our strengths a bit more.
Well, if there's any consolation, England have done better against Pakistan in recent years at Headingley.
Well, that's no surprise. I mean, England's traditional strengths have been seam bowlers on seaming pitches, which Headingley tends to offer. The conditions out here today were rather more akin to Lahore or Karachi than England.
So, blooded but unbowed?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next 2 test matches. Both sides have got good respect for each other. The game was played in good spirit. I think it'll be a cracking series ahead, and I'm looking forward to England coming back and winning the series 2-1.
OK, well, we wish you well. We'll wait and see what happens in those 2 test matches. Wazim, congratulations. Now, whereas Michael was confident that he might see the day through. How confident were you that the wickets would tumble?
The whole team was very confident, including myself, and we were just telling them we need a breakthrough. So till lunch, everybody was a little down, but we came back for lunch, everybody chatted with each other, they backed each other up. We just said we need one wicket and we'll through, and that's what we did.
It's not the first time you've done it. I mean, by now, this side of yours must be, shall we say, very experienced at using a bit of patience if necessary. But what makes the difference? Once that first wicket falls, it seems always to be a tumble after that.
Yeah, I think basically with us bowlers, me and Waqar, even Mushina, when we get wicket, we really tend to run in, try to get next wicket straight away, because we knew that new batsman is in, pressure is on him rather than on us. We just try to run through him, and that's what Waqar really did today. I mean, they both bowled really brilliantly. I mean, I was so happy for the team. Everybody fought well, and I mean, they look like one of the best teams in the world right now.
Okay, well, congratulations. I've come to the man of the match. Waqar, well done, well bowled.
Thank you very much, David.
Now, you've had a couple of testing years, out with injury, problems with the back, problem with hamstrings. Are you fully fit now?
No, as you know, I've been struggling for the last 3-4 years with my back. And last year especially, I struggled very much. And I didn't play much cricket, so. And I was like training hard, trying to strengthen my back up. And it's like, I'm very, very strong now. And I'm back now, and I want to bowl, and I'm bowling well now.
Now, your years in England playing for Surrey seem to have done the trick, because you come here, you're on familiar territory, you seem to enjoy the atmosphere here at Lord's as well.
Yeah, I always enjoy playing in England, especially here at Lord's, and you know, the conditions here and the wickets what they prepared here. Well, like a low wicket, which I always like to, you know, where the ball keeps low, and I was very happy to see on the very first day on this wicket, you know. And I was very confident I'm going to perform here, and I did.
Now, what's the secret? We've been watching from the comfort of the commentary box this in-swinging Yorker. How long did it take you to learn to perfect that delivery? It really is a killer.
I've been doing things from club cricket even before I played the first-class cricket. So I've been working on it a long time now, and I did well on that, and we're very much confident on that.
Well, brilliantly well bowled. Congratulations.
Thanks, Terry. Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed, it is a great delivery, that in-shooting Yorker, and he has perfected it wonderfully well. He might have started in club cricket, but he's elevated it now to test match status, and it is very, very difficult to play, even from the commentary box, I can assure you. Now, with a few ideas on today's match and what might happen in the future, here's Geoffrey Boycott.
A pulsating and thrilling victory by Pakistan looked so unlikely with Michael Atherton and Alex Stewart together. They batted very well in the morning with great resolve, looked in control, nice and comfortable. Then Mushtaq started to create a few problems just before lunch. The batsman started to play a miss, weren't reading his deliveries very well, and then suddenly it all fell apart after lunch. Michael Atherton was the first to go. Once he went, the floodgates opened. In 2 hours, just over, England were out. 8 wickets went down for 40 runs, and there was high fives and hugging by the Pakistanis, and it was virtually all over. You have to ask yourself the question, should England have got bowled out on this surface? My answer is no. Sometimes some surfaces are difficult to bat on. This was pretty reasonable, I think. Pakistan played well, England was poor.
Geoffrey Boycott with his ideas on what happened in this match for the two teams and what might happen in the other two still to be played, one at Headingley and one at the Oval. Well, our next match is at Headingley. That's our next Test match cricket on August 8 to 12. Live coverage on BBC TV, the second of the Cornhill Insurance Test matches. But tomorrow we're going to be down at Hove, NatWest Trophy quarter-final. A change of pace there, a change of style, and it'll be Sussex against Yorkshire. BBC 2 at 10:25 a.m. Well, it's time to say goodbye from Lord's on what has been 5 very good days of cricket, fluctuating, Pakistan on top throughout, and if I were to single out one man apart from the ones we've talked about so far, it'd be the Pakistan skipper, Wasim Akram, because he took the side down to Australia when they were really struggling. Nothing had gone right for them for quite some time. He won the match in Sydney, then he went on, won another test and another one, and he's brought the side here to Lord's, and he's triumphant at the first time of asking. A brilliant performance and a great effort from the whole of the Pakistan team. For the moment, from Lord's, it's goodbye.